Previously on Small Town Big Gays.
I feel like the seat is very hot right now, but that could be the fart that I just let out.
Hi, welcome to Small Town Big Gays. We are the gays who are too big for how small of a town this is. I'm Chance. I'm joined by two special guests this evening.
I'm Khloe Wold. Today, we are joined by Amber Hudson.
Hi, everyone.
How old were you when you realized your life was pathetic?
I was pretty aware of that at a young age.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that
like
you were...
I said, I was very embarrassed about being homeschooled, and we were like a cult level of religion where we didn't even celebrate Christmas.
When did you actually come out?
I came out when I was 18, 3 months after I was 18. But I had come out to my now sister Siren. The reason I came out to my family was actually this tattoo right here. And my dad's initial thing, I said, I don't want you to be mad at me. I just made this decision for myself because I wanted to, but I got a tattoo. He's like, you either get that removed or you get out of my house forever. And I was like, okay, I'll get out of your house forever. Turned it into a whole family meeting where we just talked about beliefs and where we were all at with everything. And Siren was very defensive of me, and she came out first, actually, because we were just talking about everything. We both ended up coming out, and they basically said, you can stay here as long as you go to conversion therapy. Wes agreed to go. I did not agree to go. But the whole time we were like, we're getting an apartment. So we ended up living there a couple months after, but we did get kicked out. So we left, and then we didn't talk for years after that.
Cool.
Does anyone else feel depressed? I've really moved on with my life. I'm sitting here on Mother's Day with Khloe because Khloe has been more of a mother to me over the past 10 years than my own mother has. Mother.
Your story is great in showing perseverance through difficult situations. You're kind of living, I feel like, your dream, what you wanted, and you're getting what you want out of life. And that is really great, and shows that even as a small town queer person that has had to go through some difficult situations, you've made your way through it and have worked it. And now you cross-dress for attention, and I still think you have a lot to unpack from this, but
very. I have to get attention from somewhere, so I just get it from cross-dressing now.
Yeah, so you and Siren moved out together then,
yes.
Got your first apartment. Around this time is when I started to kind of know you, because you two started kind of coming around a little bit. So talk about that experience of transitioning from being a weird homeschooled freak to being a homeless, weird homeschooled freak.
So before
homeless weird homeschooled gay freak.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, get the gay in there.
Okay, yeah.
Gay, freak, weird.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I just thought that would come. People would know, if you're gay, you're obviously a freak and weird. Yeah. So, yeah, okay.
I feel like we've established
goes hand
that.
in hand. Yeah, yeah. What was the question?
The question is why are you such a freak? Talking about
I don't think we have the time to answer that one.
I know we don't have 3 hours. What was the transition like from being in such a strict religious upbringing, homeschool, to now you're out on your own with your sibling, and you both have now newly come out with each other? What was that like?
It's liberating. I mean, it was very a breath of fresh air to just make your own decisions and not have to worry about it, and not have to answer to anybody. I had started going to scooters, actually. I was 18, but I could get in with Siren's ID, actually, because we looked close enough alike, so I could get in. So I had already gone there quite a few times before that and had experienced drag shows and stuff. I still remember my first one. I feel bad. I hope you weren't in the show that night, just so you don't feel bad, but I do not remember you. The only person I actually remember, I remember 2 people. It was 3 people. Jem, she was the first one. I think when we walked in, the show had already started, and she was the one who was on stage, and I was like, who the fuck is this bitch? I'm obsessed. I need to be like her. And then Dominique came out, and Dominique was doing Dominique things, And then I weirdly remember Isabella Richards. Okay. Because she was wearing a fringy bra costumes, and I was like, oh, that's sickening. I didn't think that was sickening. I probably thought it was a little sickening. Because I was it was just I was just a wide-eyed 18-year-old homeschooled kid at a gay bar for the first time, experienced it all. But I knew pretty much that first show that's what I wanted to do, because I had met my first gay friend. It was actually Fireball. I didn't get to go because I had to work to the Fireball. But it was that Saturday night. I didn't get to go, but I went to Scooters after. And everyone was there, and Kyle was there, and he came up to her and talking to me, and either got my number or added me on Facebook and like messaged me the next day and invited me to his house because he was living like downtown in the college frat houses. So I started talking like to the point where like Kyle actually would come to pick me up at my parents' house, like to take me out, and we would go out to the bar and bring me home. One time I got so drunk at Scooters and I came back to my parents' house and I was like stumbling up the stairs and I threw up in the bathroom and I missed the toilet and like just vomit all over the bathroom. And I cleaned that bathroom spick and span in the middle of the night, drunk as hell, and no one woke up. 8 people in that house and nobody woke up and caught me. Still don't know how I managed to do that. And it was a Saturday night, so church was the next day and my mom woke me up and I was like, I'm so sick. I think I have the flu. Again, idiot, so she believed it.
Okay, so very liberating time. And you two were obviously pretty open with each other and figuring out life. What was it like to like transition from having like, I'm assuming pretty strict rules, and to having this like new, free, liberating life? What are like some of your best memories from that time of your life of discovering who you are?
Well, I feel like I really, right after I moved out on my own in April of 2014 and I started drag. My first show was August of 2014. So
wow.
I basically just threw myself right into drag.
Yeah.
I mean, I was also broke, so I was like working a lot and just honestly staying home and saving money. I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't really drink that much other than with friends. And I didn't have friends because I had also just like leaving my family also meant leaving my like entire friend group because it was all church related people. And I didn't really know anyone else other than my coworkers.
Yeah.
I really credit my really good friend Rosie. She was like a big reason as to why I came out and why I realized it was okay and like became independent, because she was very encouraging of us doing that. And she's always been that kind of cheerleader and for me throughout my entire life. So I will always give her credit. I love you, Rosie. If you ever listen to this, like, you are a huge reason. And Taylor as well. Not Taylor Ashton, my friend Taylor. Like when I met them, I had never really met like an atheist or like anyone who, I don't even know if either of them are actually atheists, but they would very liberal, very progressive, like did not agree with anything that my family stood for. And Rosie said she knew from the moment she met me that I didn't believe a word of what I was telling her when I would say that what I thought, but she could just tell that I was just repeating what I'd heard. Yeah. And she just beat it out of me until I finally admitted that I didn't believe any of that shit.
So what made you decide to get involved in the drag scene?
Honestly, I was just like desperate for like friends or like a community of some sort, and I just like saw all of you at the shows and like.
Well, you didn't see me if you don't remember that part of your story.
I do remember you after, like just the first show. I remember as a jungle theme as well.
Well, I was there because
I'm sure you
missed
were there.
one show in 16 years, so
I'm sure a certain someone was making shady comments about you.
Yep, that's okay.
No, I just wanted like friends, but I also just wanted to be a like I've always been super artistic and like drawing and stuff.
Did
like
you say artistic or autistic?
They go hand in hand, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just wanted to clear that up for
They're
the
two
audience.
horns on the same goat.
Okay.
And I'm a goat mama. No, I think that's just why I wanted to. So Kyle was also starting, so I was like, I want to do it too. So he asked Jem, because Jem was the one who was organized. Remember back in the day when it was a different person who would kind of organize each show. Yep. There wasn't like one set show director. So Jem was organizing this, but she was like, okay, well, you can have one number and you're not getting paid. But Kyle let me be a guest in this number. We did Iggy Azalea and Rita Ora Black Widow together. Yeah. Which is really funny because I met Rita Ora the day before at the Mall of America, weirdly, because she was doing a signing there and I went there to like shop for my first drag outfit.
I would like you to know that there was an opening for you in that show because a very kind, generous, older drag queen was gone away at an event, and so there was an open space for you. The one show she missed in 16 years.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, that's when I started, and then my next show was Halloween. I wasn't even in the show, but I showed up in like just a slutty outfit with butterfly wings on, like from Walmart. And Ophi was nice enough to let me do a number, so I did Wings by Little Mix. And then I think right after that, then you all just started letting me be in almost every show. I mean, back then, it's not like it is now where there's like a million drag queens running around like begging to be in shows. It was like, I guess you have a wig. I didn't even have a wig. I borrowed multiple wigs from Khloe. I think I had one wig that was terrible.
And I gave you all their terrible ones.
And then Khloe just gave me the bottom of her bag, like the ugly, ratty ones. But you know what? I was happy with anything. I wore it. And I looked a fucking fool. You can add those. I can send you the pictures to add right here. I looked a fucking fool, but I owned it and I grew from there.
Yeah.
Now look at you.
Now look at me.
You're beautiful.
Now she's still looking ratty and a fucking fool.
I know. So ratty.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember a lot of my like very first impressions of you. I feel like it was just like everything between you and I happened really fast. Like
It did. I feel like we just like talked at the bar once and then it was like,
I don't even remember like how it even like came about that you became like my drag daughter or anything.
I do.
Do you?
yeah, we were having a Mother's Day, which is funny because it's Mother's Day today.
Okay.
We were having a Mother's Day show and like Felicia and Taylor were going to do a number together and Jem and Sophie were going to do a number together and Ophi and Ionia were going to do a number together. And you were just like, do you want to be my drag daughter? Because you needed someone to do a number with to be included in this show. So we did a number together. I don't even know what the number. I couldn't tell you what the number was.
No.
At all. But that was when you asked me, and then the rest was history.
And then you just felt like you had no other decision. You're like, well, I guess if I want to get booked.
I don't know if I told you this, but I wanted Jem to be my drag daughter
I
because
know,
I was
yes.
obsessed with her.
Yeah.
But she did not like me. I don't think she didn't like me, but she didn't like the idea of me being there. She was like threatened. Not that I don't know why anyone would have been threatened by me. I was the biggest idiot ever.
Yeah, no one should have ever been threatened by you.
No,
for
I
anything.
was like so awkward.
Yeah.
And I look back and everyone's like, oh my God, you're so pretty. But I look back at those pictures. I mean, I think everyone kind of does. But I just look back and I was like, I was not pretty. I don't know why everyone was gassing me up.
Yeah, I remember looking at you and going, you know, I really do need to just look better. So just keep Amber closer to me.
Yep.
Yeah, and it worked good for
have
me.
ugly friends so that you can be the hottest one.
Yeah, that's how I book all my shows nowadays, honestly. I'm just like, who's the
So
ugliest,
smart.
not really that talented, and then you look great and you love it. And it's been working really well for me.
It really has. You're on top now.
Yeah, I'm on
Head bitch in charge.
head bitch in charge of nothing.
Yeah. What do you have to show for it?
Not all this.
A long string of emails.
Yeah, a long string of complaints by
Multiple
all
meetings.
the porters, by all the performers, every fucking show.
A full inbox every morning. Messenger.
Yeah,
Someone saying, I want to be booked. Why don't you ever book me?
right. Yeah. Yep. I think I just like somehow, because you probably were starting to become friends with James at this point-ish of
Yes.
friends. We'll use that.
I had dropped my other only gay friend and then replaced them with
With
James,
James,
I think.
yeah.
I don't know. I honestly don't even remember how I met James. I'm sure just because he came to all the shows.
On
and
the shows, yeah.
Was in school and Eau Claire, so he was there around you and Ionia. And we that's I feel like that's how we came a little group. It was like me, you, James, and Ionia.
Yeah.
We're like a little cluster and we would go out to lunch or
Yeah.
I don't know, we would just hang out. But back then it was honestly the best period of drag. It was probably the end period because I probably missed the best period. But we would go out literally every weekend. If not Friday and Saturday in full drag, no show, just we would all go to Charlotte Russe. Like Saturday we would go meet at the Oakwood Mall and like go to Charlotte Russe or whatever store and like pick out the cheapest dress you can find basically. And that's what you'd wear that night. We would just be so excited. It was the most basic mall drag. Like you said, bring back mall drag.
Yeah.
I bring back mall drag because I miss the fucking mall drag days.
Yeah.
Because we were having the best of
Yeah,
times.
they
Back
were
when
good.
Scooters had a better patio and that parking lot. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The shenanigans we get into back there.
Yeah. That was a good time.
Wrestling in the median, from what I hear.
Yeah.
I never saw the wrestling, but I did get into a screaming match with Ophelia Junk once outside. I was wearing a Khloe wool t-shirt that I had cut into a crop top. So I knew as I was screaming at Ophelia that I felt ridiculous because I knew I looked just like the biggest faggot ever as I'm wearing, and it wasn't even like a short crop. It was like literally just below my nipples. It was like the tiniest crop top ever. And we were screaming at each other about Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
And whether or not she could play a transgendered person.
Well, I don't know if you've caught on to this episode, but Amber this is something that I simultaneously that's a big one today.
Yeah.
Love and
Spell it.
I don't Simon Tame TAME
I don't even. I can't.
ISLY Simon Tame
I'm gonna assume
Isley.
that's right.
Simultaneously.
This is one of my things that I love and revere about you, but also fear and hate about you is you know how Amber feels about everything, and whether she tells you what she 90% of the time will, or you'll know by a look in her eye. And
It's a glimmer, really.
yeah, you will know how she feels about you, what you're wearing, what you're thinking, and I
hate that about myself.
I mostly love it. Sometimes I want to punch her in the face.
You can also tell what I'm thinking about other people because I'll give you the look and then look at them and then back.
Yeah.
And then you can be like, you'll give me the nod.
So Amber, my young recollections of little Miss Amber and the street was she was always looking in the mirror and always looking to start a fight. And not even like a physical fight, but just, and not, I know I shouldn't even say start a fight, but it was just like she was going to tell you what she thought of it, whether you wanted to hear it or not. And it usually caused some sort of reaction because I don't think people are used to that, like people just coming up and telling you their opinion. And James was the same way, and James is like, he's one of my little gabies. He did dabble in drag for a little bit, but
Good old Kansas.
yeah, Kansas. They were just demons, the two of them. Yep. And
If we weren't going at each other, we would pick someone to go
Yes,
after, and
yes.
we would just gang up on them. But we were also going at each other a lot of the times, and
Yeah.
then Khloe had to moderate as the mother.
Yep.
And
And
when,
again,
Michael was around, it got even worse. That's when you realized the family was too big, and you just had to do some
weed
late-term abortions.
Yeah. No, it was like,
Just here at Small Town Big A's, we stand for late-term abortions.
It is true.
Especially if they're aborting drag queens.
it's a woman's choice, damn it.
Yes. It's a mother's choice.
I'm a mother, no drama. Yeah, it was a lot of wild at times, and a lot of me putting out a lot of fires, trying with not a lot of water, you know. It's just like the California wildfires. I feel like it was my life at that time, but I loved it. It was a great time. I'm a Cancer, so I'm a very motherly figure, and so having gabies was always like a dream of mine, having people I could boss around secretly without them knowing.
Around.
The more I learn about you on this podcast, I mean, I know a lot about you, but the more you talk about like being a kid and at church and just bossing people around and always want to be in charge, I'm like, you're still that same kid.
I know, just a
You
big
just
kid now.
love to boss people around, and I love that you love that. I don't always listen
or agree,
or
She'll
agree,
tell me.
but I it's nice to share opinions.
Yeah. No, I love that, and I would say like probably it was right before COVID is when I think you and I started becoming closer, especially when you became a student of mine.
Yeah, I think that was like what really got us close together. Probably right after I became a student, because then there was like the awkward period. So I went to cosmetology school at the school that Khloe was a instructor at, and she encouraged me to do it. And honestly, I credit you with the career that I have now and where I'm at, because I would never have done that if it wasn't for you bossing me around and just pushing me down the hill right into school. But I think it was even before that, because I was assisting you as a makeup artist.
Yeah.
Because I was halfway decent at makeup, and you needed someone to boss around at, at your job. So you just picked the nearest you could find.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say that on the podcast?
Yes.
Is this
Yes.
a friendly podcast?
Yes, we love that word. Yeah.
I think I've already said it like 7 times. This is the first time I've just actually recognized
Ask for
that some
permission.
people might be offended. As a proud myself, I can say it because I know one, but
The only reason I bleep it out is for YouTube monetization. So
Yeah.
okay, I love
you
it.
say it as much as you want.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Cosmetology school.
Oh yeah, it was a little bit before that, but I'd say
Yeah. Well, I think like then we were with each other 5 days, 6,
Probably
sometimes 7 days a
probably too
week.
much.
Honestly, we were together all the time because.
and then you got to boss me around there.
got to boss you around there.
You bossed me into going there, bossed me around there, bossed me around after. I mean, you've always been bossing me around, and I do listen to you for the most part. Sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
Then you punish me. You're like Lisa Vanderpump. You are the Lisa Vanderpump of Eau Claire.
Goodbye, Amber.
Goodbye, Kyle.
No, and I remember like this is I want to say something, but it's just going to set you up for a grooming joke, and I don't want to make that.
Because I will. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the moment where I can.
I remember watching you develop. I feel like your development as like a drag person, your career, like everything is like was so fast and furious. Like I think I know that you like know your talents and I know that you appreciate them, but I don't think you give yourself enough credit for like how talented of a person you are, because like your drag like skyrocketed so quickly, and it like forced a lot of us like older queens who were like, I feel like drag in the Chippewa Valley for the longest time was just very much like trying to be like a passable woman, you know. It's like, and we weren't fooling anyone with our shoulders, were we, Felicia? And I feel like you really, because you were like a kind of a product of Drag Race, not like fully, but like kind of, you like really forced all of us to have to like step up our drag, and then also having the strong opinions you had, you would let us know that we needed to step our drag up too, which was good, and we needed to, whether we wanted to hear it a lot or not. I think so. I credit you a lot to like the drag scene in Eau Claire becoming more evolved into where it is. And you were just like, you were that way at school too. You were always super talented. You took on to things like a duck to water, and a lot of the girls would want you to do their hair at school too, because you were very good at it. So like, I just, sometimes you need to remember that you are a very talented person. You're very good at what you do.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, but you are also a huge cunt too.
I know.
And you're
great power
stupid.
becomes great. Wait.
Yeah. So when Daniel here decided to come to school at the school I was teaching at, I also did recruitment for them, and so I had to do like all the paperwork for getting new students enrolled. So for those of you who doubt my beauty and brains, I also would do like all the financial aid stuff, help them get their financial aid going. And so in order to come to our school, you had to show credits and accreditations to, you know, you had to have a high school diploma or a GED equivalent. And it's a little bit more of a process to get a homeschooled kid involved in an accredited school. Amber Daniel's transcripts came from this prestigious school. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's very elite, called Peterson Academy. I think you really excelled, valedictorian of your class, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was also the class clown.
Also
Also the most improved. Also the least improved.
Yeah.
I was the only one in my class, so
most likely to
I just got all the awards.
become a disappointment.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. An A+ in interior design. Also
That's
an
a high school class, apparently.
An A+ in theology, maybe.
I think it was creation science.
Piano, I think was another
Creation
class.
science?
Yeah.
Creation science was what my mom put on my high school transcript as the class.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
I am going to ask the school if I can get a copy of it, because
I still have it, I think, in my files on my
iconic,
phone.
honestly.
I literally could probably find it in my iCloud. It's probably the very deep, the very deep, darkest bottom corner of my iCloud. When my mom sent that, because I asked her for it, and it was awkward because I had to ask her for it.
Yeah. What did she think about you going to cosmetology school?
They were actually like fine with it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think they already knew I was like a
Too far gone. Yeah.
drag queen, so they think that was just the next step. I think they thought boobs would be right after that.
Big boobs.
Big boobs, child. Anyways. Oh yeah, when I had to send that to you, I knew you were gonna tease me mercilessly for it, but I couldn't make any edits. I mean, it was a Word document, so I probably could have actually made some edits. I really could have just doctored that up and made it look. I mean, it's not that hard to get into cosmetology school because I lied my entire way through. I never graduated shit. But
Yeah.
like I told you, I didn't do any school after 15.
Yeah.
So
I
I've
know.
never done algebra in my life. And I guess what? I'm perfectly fine. I'm a business owner, married, have a great life. And I've never used algebra once. I never felt bad about not knowing it.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Do you know algebra?
Yes, I use it every day.
No, you fucking don't.
Lies.
You don't know what I do when you're not around here.
I really don't.
Yeah.
Huh.
So don't tell me I don't do algebra.
All right, fair.
Equations.
She ferociously jerks off on that very couch you're sitting on.
Yeah, there were cum tissues on here when I got
Those
here
were
today.
Amber's snot tissues. Thank you.
Amber's
They
cum
were, I
tissues.
was-
Because I
I
told
was
you I would
blown.
not clean it up with a tissue. I'd clean it up with my mouth
True,
like a
true,
normal woman.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten your own cum?
No.
I think
Well,
this is
you
an important.
haven't?
This is an important question for this podcast. Have you ever tasted your own specimen?
Only recently because a guy snowballed me, which we've all decided that that's what it's going to be called now, even though I still stand behind Julia Roberts and Pretty Woman, and Stepmom. But a guy recently snowballed me and I was disgusted.
Was this because he was a fan of the pod, or?
Yes, he said, I'm going to snowball you, you podcasting hot bitch.
Has it been awkward around your uncle since?
Well, I was like, I just wanted more porn magazines. And then he was like, well, you're going to have to come in my mouth and I'm going to spit it back at you. And I was like, oh, God,
he's been grooming you since such a young age. For the inevitable snowball.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it? Now I'm confused at what it is.
It's snowballing. I'll just say it's snowballing.
What is it?
Snowballing.
What did you think it was?
Snow blowing.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
You
the
wouldn't
same
know
thing.
because you didn't go to middle school. So
I didn't. No, I didn't. I honestly, there's so many things that I still don't even know.
Yeah.
They're like words that I'm like, people will say, oh my God, that's so offensive. Like, I have never even heard the word before. I won't share them, but
the more I'm getting to know you, the less intimidated I am by you, because I was scared of you for a very long time.
everyone is so scared of me. Everyone tells me that. I don't know why I'm so scary. I think it's just because I'm tall.
Because you're tall, you're pretty, and you're a little bit of
and
a
I'm
bitch.
a bitch. I have a RBF.
I was scared of you when I first met you, but I thought it was, I can't even say it. There is honestly one of the first things I think of Amber from when I first met her is she has this picture that she took of herself, a selfie with Alyssa Edwards at Fireball.
I don't know why you think that picture is that bad.
you
I will
like-
send it.
you're
You
like
can
this.
put
We'll insert it
right
here.
here. So I did not wait in the meet and greet line to meet Alyssa Edwards. So she was like running out of the building, like to go get changed.
Away from
and
Amber.
I like grabbed her arm and was like, "Can I please grab a selfie with you quick?" And it was literally a one take deep. Like I had
Yeah,
one
I know.
picture, so I posted the one that I had. It wasn't the greatest to me. She looked good in it.
Yeah, Alyssa looks
And
great.
but she literally, I remember going, "Oh, that was a good one, girl. Make sure you tag me." And I was like, she says that to everybody because it wasn't a good one.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It's just so funny. I don't know why you just look creepy in it. It makes me cackle. Well, okay, can I? If I'm completely honest, it's because I think you kind of look like me in it because you like have a double chin. So I
was like tilted down because she was a lot shorter than me.
like mother, like daughter.
Yeah.
double chin queens.
I'm there with you right now, Diva. Now I
Yeah.
know how they feel on Drag Race.
Yep, we're just preparing you for
It's okay.
that time in your life.
I'm going to drag you in the edit. I'm going to
Please
make you look
do.
so fucking bad.
What were your first impressions of Chance?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
Because I was scared of you, genuinely. And I thought you didn't like me, and I thought she's pretty and unapproachable and a bitch, and
I remember the first time I met you because you came to Drag Brunch at the Lakely.
Yeah.
I think it was you and Tom, and I had known Tom. He used to come around the bar, so I knew of him. But you yelled at me when I first met Chance because you told me I didn't make a good impression with him.
I don't remember. You probably didn't.
I'm sure I did it.
It was probably a
because
fact.
You were like, I want you to come meet this guy over here, Chance,
Oh,
because
yeah.
we're gonna start doing shows at the Firehouse.
No, I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure.
remember. I don't honestly remember any of the conversation, but I left. You're such a bitch, and I was like in a joking way. I don't think you were super serious, but I was like, why? And you're like, you were just like not very present talking to them, and I was like, oh, sorry. I'm
Well,
like,
that's very you.
I mean, it is.
maybe
I
that's
think
why
you were
thought
being
you
a little
were
bitch about like going over there and talking. You're
Well, I
like,
don't like-
think
I'm
you were like,
so
I don't
shocked.
care. I'm pretty sure that's what you said. I don't care.
I am
Yeah,
a very shy
I know.
person actually, and I'm not really good around like meeting people for the first time or like being super outgoing. And when you are in drag, like and you're meeting people, I mean, sometimes it's very surface level, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think that's fair.
I watched you today as some girl was asking you how you discovered who you are and how you own who you are, and you were like, okay.
Well, I was waiting for you two to actually give an answer and talk to people.
You are our
But
mother.
you both stood there like a bunch of idiots and didn't answer her.
You really.
I was opening the door for you guys to make a new fan, and you wouldn't.
I don't have to make fans; they just come.
Interesting. So remember Chance's first impression of you being a bitch?
Yeah, I'm sure it was right.
Yeah. No.
I'm trying to remember our first show at the Firehouse, like, because I think that would have been the second time I met you. I thought you were super nice. I was like, I thought we
Do you
got
think
the
I
star
was
treatment.
hot?
You know,
You bitch.
No.
No.
She
Say
didn't.
yes.
Like-
It's my podcast.
Yes, I thought you were so hot. No, only because you had the big beard and like that's not my thing, but I loved it for you.
See, she always has hated bearded people.
She's always hated
It's a
bearded
thing.
Yeah,
for
it's
her.
actually, I don't think it's even drag queens. I just think it's beards in general. No, I like a beard. Like, I like your beard now. I think you look very hot with this beard, but I don't like the big beard.
Looking back at
I always
pictures,
think
I
they have
hate
food
the
in
big
them.
beard.
I
They
think-
did. They
They
did.
did. I just always feel like they're never
Constantly.
like fully clean.
Chance, what has been your favorite performance of Amber's or memory with her?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
I
know.
loved that one
I
too.
agree too. That was really good.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the last like couple shows. It's been very fun to just all go and hang out. It's just nice. I'm getting to know you now, and it's you're not quite as scary to me, and I enjoy your company.
Thank you. I love having my company enjoyed.
What's your favorite Amber memory?
Oh God.
I don't know. I couldn't say specifically like one time, but I do enjoy when Amber and her husband come and just like hang out with me here. They're like, we just laugh all night long. It's just silly.
We really do.
Yeah.
It's like I'll have a like my ribs will hurt from laughing so hard.
Yeah.
We'll just sit right here on these couches and just gab till like 3 a.m.
Yeah. I love the times that I get, and even just like solo times when you come by yourself, I just enjoy getting to hang out with
I appreciate
her.
you saying that because sometimes I think that like I'm being so annoying at your
Well,
house, like,
you-
keeping you up all night.
You are annoying, but I love it.
I love being annoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked about how you kind of had a tragic, rough upbringing, and then you kind of found your freedom, found your way, and then now you've kind of entered like the most tragic and worst part of your life, meeting Colton. How does it feel to lose track of your life again?
It feels awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you and Colton meet?
At Scooter's bar. It was actually really weird. So I wouldn't even say dating. I was seeing this guy who was, I mean, if you're thinking of the most tragic person you've ever met, like just times it by 10, and that's how tragic this person was. And
Oh,
somehow
yeah.
I was stuck caring about him.
He was cute.
He was cute and he did have a big old schlong, but
What was his name?
edit that. Yes, I was dating him, and it was New Year's Day that we called it quits because, well, we were out on New Year's Eve, and then I wanted to go home at like 2 a.m, and he didn't want to go home with me. He just wanted to stay at the bar by himself. So I said, okay, fuck you. I'm done with this completely.
New Year, New You.
So I just said, I don't think we should talk anymore. But I was very sad. That was like a Tuesday because it was like New Year's Eve. But then that Friday came around and I was sad and lonely. So I was like, I'm going to go out to the bar. It was the work back when we did the amateur nights on Fridays. So people were there performing. So I was like, I'm going to go watch the amateur night by myself and just sit at the bar like a loser, which I never would do. So I went there, and then a lot of shots rolls up with Paris, Milan, Colton, and then Kendall Klein. They all came in together as like a group. They all drove down from the cities just to come to that night, just because they had never been to Scooters before. And Colton, they were sitting up by, and I said hi to Alana because I knew her, but I didn't know any of the other three. And then I was sitting there at the bar drinking, and Colton comes up to me and goes, "Hey, what are you drinking?" I'm like, vodka Red Bull. And he goes, "You know those are bad for your heart, right?"
Okay, Colton.
That was his pickup line, and I guess it worked because I said, I don't know what I said. I said, okay, I don't care. I just want the energy. And then we started talking, and he's like, we should do a shot. And I'm like, okay, you pick. And he made me do a shot of Polish. Do you know what that is? You're white trash. You should know that.
I'm white trash?
Well, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like thrust that upon you, but I feel like you like self-proclaimed that.
Did
No?
I
Are you not white trash?
I don't think I'm white trash.
Okay.
If I am, it's fine.
Well, I mean, you're like Midwestern, like small town. That's
Yeah.
why I guess that's what I mean.
I did spend 20
I
minutes
think all
in
small
the
town people are trashy.
I did spend 20 minutes in the grill section of Target staring at stuff I don't need because I'm becoming a Midwestern dad. So yeah, continue. I'm white trash.
You should apologize to Chance.
I am sorry for calling you white trash.
No,
did not
I
mean
accept
to.
it. I am white.
I just thought that you wore that as a badge of honor.
I'm proud white trash now.
My husband wears it as a badge of honor. He is proud white trash. But he made me do Polish, which is blackberry brandy. It's disgusting.
Oh yeah, that's just gross.
Yeah, we just got to talking, and then I think the next day we matched on Tinder because he was in my area. And then I added him on Facebook, and then we set up a first date, and then yeah. For our first date, he drove all the way here in a snowstorm It was like March, so there was a snowstorm that night. I like messaged him. I was like, you don't have to, like, we can reschedule if you want. He's like, no, I'm still gonna come. Yeah, so we started dating like semi long distance. He lived in Lakeville, Minnesota, which is just south of the cities, and I lived here, so it's like an hour and a half drive each way. We'd see each other on weekends.
Yep, and that's when I lost you.
That's when you lost me. Yeah.
Yeah. When
Thank
did you
God.
move to
Thank
the
you,
cities?
Colton.
I moved in 2020, 3 weeks before COVID.
Damn.
Literally, I worked at my job for 3 weeks before I got laid off.
That's good timing.
It was, because that unemployment hit, and I was... But
Good
it
life.
did make it difficult when I moved to Minnesota and then trying to figure out unemployment when you had just moved and started a job.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So what made you, I mean, besides obviously being closer to Colton, what was your driving force behind moving to a bigger city?
I had always wanted to move to the cities pretty much since I came out. Just when you live in a town like Eau Claire, as I'm sure you both can attest to, it's the longer you live here, the smaller it gets. And you just start to know everybody. And I had so many ties to like the churches, and I would see like random people from my childhood here. And it was, I wouldn't say like bring up trauma, but it kind of did. Like when you would run into like Ruby Swanson outside your yard while you're trying to eat Subway on your porch after a night of drinking.
She was washing the styrofoam plates again.
Yeah, after she was walking with a stack of styrofoam plates. It would just be stuff like that. I mean, I had always said I wanted to move there, but I mean, obviously my husband was my main reason as to why I moved away, and
Yeah.
just felt like a good time. No, I'm very happy that I moved to the cities. I think that I have grown a lot since I moved there. It was a weird time to move because COVID literally just happened. So we were stuck at home together for like 2.5 months, and then we really, even after we both went back to work, we weren't going anywhere other than home. It was just work and home, and
Yeah.
like the bars weren't open for like a year and a half. And it was a good time to get into drag in the cities because a lot of people retired over the break or moved or things changed, and like bars were closing and reopening. And I really got to luck out with my spot at Lush because of that, I think. And
Yeah.
I had some connections, with very small connections, but somehow it got me into being a cast member there. And I think that's what changed my drag a lot, was moving to the cities. And once you get into that big environment, it's extremely competitive, and there's some amazing queens there and kings and all kinds of performers.
So you really have to step your
it's
pussy
either
up.
like step up or get the fuck out.
Yeah.
You have to be good, and you have to be professional, and you have to be like, I remember back when I was doing the shows at Scooters, I'd be the last one there, walking in 5 minutes before showtime, like a bat out of hell, throwing my shit around trying to get ready. And now I'm like the first one at every show, like always ready
I'm
on
the last
time.
one.
Chloe is always the last one, and I'm always like ready on time. And
I'm ready on time too.
You are because you come mostly ready now. Because I mean, I drive an hour and a half, so I'm not going to get in full drag and drive an hour and a half to get here.
Yeah. So you moved to Minnesota, started doing drag there, living with your not husband at the time. We'll get into that in just a second here. But yes, you were a harlot living out of wedlock. I had a lot of opinions on that. But you still have remained very involved in the community here. You still come back at least once a month, sometimes 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Why do you keep that decision? Why do you keep your ties still strong here?
Well, I mean, number one, I would say just the community of it all, and you specifically. I really enjoy my shows here. I enjoy the venues. Well, some of the venues, and just the kiki backstage, and I mean, also the money. I mean, I'm not gonna want to turn down a show, and also my status here. I feel like I've worked very hard in this community to get to where I am, to be included in every single show and have a following who come to see me and enjoy seeing me. So
Yeah.
I would never just because I move an hour and a half away doesn't mean I'm gonna throw that away.
Right. So you think it's important to still keep your ties to your community? And
For sure, yeah. Although I moved around a lot when I was a kid, I always have viewed Eau Claire as my hometown because this is where like I grew up.
yeah.
And I have the most amount of roots, I guess. My roots are deep here.
Ritzies.
I don't think they're that deep, but I have people here who I really like enjoy being around, so I'm always going to come back.
Well, let's talk about your wedding. Yeah, so you and Colton decided to get married. What was the driving force behind deciding to get married? Because plenty of queer couples stay together and never like actually get married.
I actually didn't think that we would get married or get engaged when we did. Like, it was a complete surprise to me when he did propose, even though there were like a million signs, because it was like so planned out and like everyone was there. I just thought it was a coincidence that I went to the bar that we met at one random night, and all my friends and family were there. Like
Well,
multiple of
there
my
was-
siblings, multiple of my friends. I just thought it was a coincidence that everyone was out at the same time on the same night.
There was
I
one
was
very
really
important
just-
person missing from that equation.
You were, and I will never forgive you for that.
Well, that's not my
Where
fault.
were you?
Where
I
were
was
you?
in-
Who
I think I was
cares?
in Seattle.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, it was great. I was on a trip somewhere. It was lovely.
That was a wild weekend
Yeah, it was.
without you.
Aww.
I was there in spirit and helped coordinate some of the stuff, so I was a
Yeah,
part of
you
it.
sent
and
me some flowers with a note that said, "Now you can just get AIDS from each other."
Did I really?
And I think James.
That sounds like
I
something.
think James
It seems like something I would maybe do.
chose the writing on the note card.
Yeah, I probably paid for them and he wrote on it.
Yeah, that sounds.
Let's be
That
honest.
sounds very correct.
Yeah. Okay. So you didn't really like see marriage as like a thing in your future? As
No,
a-
I mean I thought we would get married one day, but it was a surprise at that time. Not that I didn't think we were ready to get married, but we also had a longer engagement, like a 2-year engagement.
like as a kid, did you see yourself getting married?
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean to a woman when I was a really little kid, and then
Okay.
I had a period where like I would envision my life when I was older, but I was always the woman. Like I remember growing up, like probably around 9 or 10, 11, I just wished that I was born as a girl so that I could have a husband one day.
Okay.
Because I didn't really even know it was like an option to be gay. So
Yeah.
I just wished my life was different. Not that I wanted to be a woman. Like I realized that later, but like at that time,
Yeah.
I would just like, that's how I would just envision my life and my future. And I realized like I didn't have a crush on any of the girls that I'd ever met. I only had a crush on like the boys.
Yeah. So what is your advice to the young queer kids in a small town growing up with conservative parents, and what should they know? What should they be excited about? What should they do with their lives? You are their mentor now.
Kill yourself.
Jesus.
No, I would say it's so cheesy and everyone says it, but
Yeah.
like your life will get so much better than it is now. You just have to like think about what you want and where you want to be, and just every day is going to be a step, but it'll eventually get you to your goal. Because if you told me now, like when I was 12, like that when you're 29, you're going to be a successful hairstylist, drag queen, married, have a house, have a dog, like overall a very happy life, be able to travel the world, I wouldn't have believed you, or I wouldn't even think that was a possibility or in the realm of possibilities. But you know,
Look at
I
you.
worked hard over the years to get to where I want to be, and I don't really believe like everything happens for a reason, but everything happens as it should. I guess. And you know, you're gonna have really bad days and you're gonna have really good days. You just have to always remember like the good will outweigh the bad, and it gets better, I guess. It's so cheesy, but it really is true. It's like the best advice you can give someone when they're struggling with where they're at in their life.
Yeah.
It will only get better though if you want it to get better, because if you know, are just waking up every day and going to work and then going home, and you're not really making a plan for like how to improve your life or like what you're going to do next to like grow, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
And I feel like we all know a lot of people who just don't really care. They're just fine with working their job at the gas station or wherever the fuck they work. And
I thought you were going to give a very specific job about something.
I was thinking of some jobs and I thought they were too specific, so I just switched to gas station. It's just like, and they don't care. Or the people who have had like 7 jobs in 1 year. People who are stuck in a job that they worked at for 20 years. It is clearly a shitty job, but
Yeah.
they won't leave because they're fine with it. But they'll complain about it every day, but they won't do anything to change it.
Yeah.
The only one who can control your life is you. At the end of the day, like there's going to be so many people around you like Khloe who are bouncing you around and telling you what to do. But you have to decide to take their advice, which if Khloe's telling you to do something, it's probably actually the right decision. But there's going to be other people who are going to advise you to do the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point.
What she's saying is find a very beautiful, intelligent, wise, successful, glamorous
Man.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Have them be your drag mother, and everything will be better in your life because of them solely.
Yes, exactly.
And there's no other reason.
Yeah.
Why don't you just suck on the microphone? Maybe mine is just as close. I just felt like it was really close to your
I
mouth.
don't know. Is it?
Well, that seems like a nice note to wrap it up on.
Chance, now please
I would never wrap
give your
it up.
critiques of Amber's look today.
Do I look frumpy?
No, the rolling at the shoulders is a little weird for me, but that's about it.
You know, I think this is made for a much smaller woman. So I just got it yesterday, and I feel cunt.
You look good.
Nah, thanks.
Since Amber
No, give some critiques on Khloe's look.
meanly,
Specifically her shoes.
we don't need to do that, but
It's Mother's Day. Be nice to Mother.
Everyone give Chance a thumbs up for what he does for this podcast. We appreciate him.
Amber, tell people where they can find you on the interwebs.
Oh my God. I'm on Facebook, Amber Hudson, for the old people. And I'm on Instagram and TikTok at The Real Amber Hudson. I'm on Venmo at Danny Peterson 95.
And at Lush Lounge and Theater in Minneapolis.
Oh yeah, that too. I'm at Lush Lounge and Theater and at Scooter's Bar and at the Firehouse and wherever else.
Mm-hmm.
You know where to find me if you want to find me. I'm not that hard to find. I'm very tall, so I just stick out in the crowd.
I will give you her address if you would like it too.
Yeah, if anyone would like to just contact me directly or come over and
Send a
help
postcard.
me
yeah.
clean,
Mm.
please. Actually, I know some weirdo out there is going to be like, can I come over and help you clean? You said I could on the podcast.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Small Town Big Gays is hosted by Travis Gorell and me, Chance Smith, who also does all the production and editing. Our music is 1am by TYB. You can check out his music by visiting the links in the episode description. Follow us on social media at STBG Pod on everything. Find our personal social medias in the episode description. Email us, smalltownbiggays@gmail.com. Ask Khloe a question. Tell us how bad we are. Yada, yada, yada. And go to strangehavens.com for more.